and we're going to go with a 20-year-old out of Oakland, one of my favorite prospects, Tyler Soderstrom. Once again, Tyler Soderstrom with the Oakland Athletics, 20-year-old. Ross, run it down for us.
Okay, Soderstrom, he played through multiple levels this year, starting in high A, playing through double A a little bit, and then he got a promotion to triple A at the end of the season. Overall in the year, he hit 267 with a 324 OBP and a 501 slugging percentage, 29 home runs. So he flashed pretty solid power. My concern would be a little bit with the plate discipline. He had 40 walks, 145 strikeouts, a lot of strikeouts. But for a 20-year-old to make it to the highest levels of the minors, I think that's pretty impressive. As you noted, he started his career as a catcher, and it looks like this year he still played pretty significant time at catcher. We put him at first base because he had more games at first base this year than he did at catcher. So it kind of seems like either they're trying to duel him or he's going to move that direction as he moves closer to the major leagues. I think he's a pretty interesting player. I don't know that I'm wild about him, but he grades out with 65 power. So a lot of power potential. At peak, Scout the Statline has him projected for an average of 28 home runs per peak season. So the strikeout rate is a bit of a problem. It's a little bit of a concern. I'm not real concerned with it because, he's still pretty young. He played most of his time at high A this year, but also moving up through double A and into triple A, that's pretty impressive for a 20-year-old. So I'm not super concerned with that. Something to watch for next year for sure. Tell us what you love about Tyler Soderstrom.
The explosion onto the scene in 2021 is what I absolutely love about Tyler Soderstrom. He came in and just demolished single A. And he pretty much exclusively played catcher in 2021. And now they're playing with him a little bit. And I think that's why he's getting fast-tracked a little bit. We all know Oakland's got a massive amount of holes in their lineup. They need to get bats in their lineup. They need to get youth. They need fans. They need anything that you can think of. And I think Soderstrom's at the top of the list right here. But like you mentioned, he went through three different leagues this year. And I'm going to attribute the strikeouts a little bit to that. I think he was just trying to settle in. And I hope that he plays all of next year. I don't want him to see a call up yet. Like he said, he's only 20 years old, soon to be 21 this month. But I'd love to see a full statistical season in AAA next year to really gauge where he's at in his 21-year-old season. Power for days. Strikeouts are a concern, but like I said, he's trying to figure his way out, and he's just flat out one of my favorite players. But they are testing him not only at first, but also in the outfield. He's playing a little bit in the outfield as well.
Do you think he makes it to the major leagues next year? You said you hoped he stays in the minors, but what do you think happens?
He's going to get an early season call up, and he's going to struggle mightily. I hope they don't ruin him with something like that. And that's why I said I hope he stays in AAA for a full season. But I can certainly see a call up. But we're going to see him real soon, really soon, I think.
So we did debut an ETA tool in our newer boards right now, or just for the premium people. They're kind of going through beta testing, but the ETA tool has him pegged for 2023, which would be next year. So they think he's being fast tracked and he's going to get, he's going to get some playing time up there. it seems quite possible to me that he at least gets a cup of coffee. He didn't get a lot of exposure at AAA, so I could see him starting maybe at AA. But yeah, I think you're probably right. If he ends up in the major leagues for a significant amount of time, it's going to be a strikeout fest,
Yeah.
at least in his first taste, until he gets his feet wet. I think he does have the potential to be a pretty solid contributor. Do you see an all-star ceiling for this guy, or do you see what do you
I
think?
do. Yeah, I see all-star ceiling with a lot of power. The one concern is going to be those strikeouts. He's going to be so darn young, and I think he's going to be swinging for the fences. If he gets that call, he might get some really good splash plays, some highlights on some pretty big networks. But I think it's going to be an ugly stat line in his first taste for a while. I don't think it's going to be an easy fix. It's going to be a patience play here. But I think Tyler Soderstrom is going to be an all-star.
So he draws a comp to Tony Armas, and I just want to point this out real quick because Tony Armas was a two-time All-Star. Looks like he finished in the top 10 for MVP voting twice. He had a season where he hit 43 bombs. So I mean, I think that's actually a pretty decent comp from what I'm seeing from the numbers. Yeah. Definitely to me that seems like the ceiling for Tyler Soderstrom. But I'm really excited to see what he can do. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and of course visit our website, scoutthestatline.com for more.